2 county senior hurling medals in 1981 and 1983. In addition, Michael has won 2
and All-Ireland under-21 medals with Tipperary in 80 and 81. Has it Francis Villan. Francis sends a long ball, high ball in
towards the Kilruane goals. Or John McGrath goes for it. Goes to Mick Cohen. Mick Cohen has it 21 yards out. Joe Banahan has the ball. He's beaten by an all-the-wire. Knocked down by an all-the-wire. Ball comes to Philip. Philip, 30 yards out from the goals. He's going through. He takes a shot, and it's the first score of the game. They're having a fine game at centre back. Gary sends the ball up this side of the field where all-the-wire goes for it. Nolan Jim Williams. Ball goes to Philip Kenny. Out to Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan, 40 yards out, 50 yards out. Sends a high ball. Gets a draw game. A lovely... Timmy Stapleton has the ball. Timmy having a great game for Borris at full-back. To Aidan Ryan. Sends it on towards Philip Kenny. Philip traps the ball. He rounds his man. He rounds the Dinara. Has a shot. And the ball's gone over the bar. Nice goal there from Philip Kenny. Noel sends the high ball across the goals. And there's a bit of arguing going on there between Mick Cohen and Seamus Gibson. Mick seems to have got the better of that one. There's an awful lot of spectators in around the field with water. Around the world they'll be showing this on the big match tonight on the 70-yard line. Richard usually very accurate from this sort of range. Strikes it. Sends a high ball and it's over the bar. Great point by Richard Stapleton from 70 yards out from the Kilruane goals. And the referee blows his whistle for half-time. Think of the affair so far.
It's good, honest to goodness, hurling. Both teams are giving all their best, and I think that it's going to be a good, I'd say, if not even better, second half, because I think the teams are playing as a team unit. There's no individual performances, and both teams are putting it.
Bobby cleaning up an awful lot. Over to John McGrath. The ball runs through to Philip Kenny. Philip has it. 21 yards out from the Kilruane goals. He's going through. He's taken down. Or is he? He has the ball again. He gets it. A great point from Philip Kenny. Jerry Stapleton has the ball. The stalemate out there. Bobby Ryan goes for it. Number 9, Enda Hogan has it. It's a 5. Gilbert Williams gets the ball. Gets it down towards the far side of the field. Where Richard Stapleton gets it. A great catch by Diggy. Sends the ball 60 yards up. Up towards John McGrath. And all the wire. All the wire is held. And Connor Stapleton has it. Gets it to all the wire again. Free in for Borris-Ileigh. Number 17 is coming onto the field for Kilruane. That's David Quinlan. All the wire to take this free. Sends a high one, it sends it over the bar, and that gets the score. 11 points for Borris-Ileigh, 5 to Kilruane. Paddy Dial going in issuing instructions there to Aidan Ryan. As Noel the Wire puts the ball over the bar, the chant is, here we go, here we go, here we go. And this is the last puck of the 1986 county final. Borris-Ileigh are the champions for 1986. The young lads are all out in the field with excitement.
Well, the principal message is that Borris-Ileigh are back, and that Borris-Ileigh and that they're worthy and deserving champions.
Michael Ryan now receives the cup from Michael Lowry, chairman of the Tipperary County Board.
Chairman of the selectors of the Borris-Ileigh team, John, how do you expect the match to go as far as tactics are concerned? Well, as far as tactics will go, I think Paddy Davis worked out all the tactics. A couple of goals today.
The referee out in the centre of the field, the two teams ready for the throw-in. Now the referee sets back the players a small bit. Timmy Ryan, number 9 for Clahan, Brian O'Mara, and the ball comes out. The wire comes up to this one and sends it high over the bar. First score of the game for Borris-Ileigh. Pint from all the wire from a free. Richard sends it up, sends a low ball to where Aidan Ryan goes for it. Comes out to John McGrath. Timmy Ryan gets it in. Goes into McCone. Sends it along the ground. It's blocked by Jerry Cronin. Jerry gets along the ground. It goes to the wire. Takes a shot. Into McCone. It's a goal, yes! Goal for Borris-Ileigh there by McCone. A bad clearance from the on full-back line. Out to all the wire. Or out to all the wire. He took a shot. It was blocked out to McCone. And he panned the ball into the net. Through. He's blocked down by Danny Fitzgerald. Danny Fitzgerald gets the ball into the centre. Bobby Ryan has it. Bobby gets it back over towards Richard Stapleton again. Richard sends it out to John McGrath. John McGrath sends a high ball, sends it out there. Great point by John McGrath. Yes, Borris-Ileigh are beginning to hurl. And John McGrath, I would suggest, is probably having an awful lot better game than he had in the county final. Connor loses it, but he gets it again. Sends a high ball, yes, and sends it over the bar. Point for Borris-Ileigh there from by Conor Stapleton up the line. Dole sends a high ball, a long ball, and a great point there from Noel the wire. Just on the Borris-Ileigh side of the halfway line. Great point there from Noel the wire. Liam Stapleton there giving some nourishment to Noel the wire before he takes this free. Noel sends a high ball and sends it over the bar. Another great point from Noel the wire. And I say when Noel the wire is playing well, all Borris-Ileigh hurlers play well. Eamon Cregan has it. Eamon runs over the ball, goes to Aidan Ryan. Aidan sends it out to McCone. Vic is going through, he sends it to Philip Kenny. Philip Kenny on the 14-yard line. Takes a shot, it's a goal! Goal there by Philip Kenny, a pass from McCone. Free. Noel sends a high ball and sends it over the bar. Great ball comes out to Brendan Kenny. Brendan only after coming in a minute ago, he sends the ball over the bar. Bobby Ryan. Ball is hit down there where Bobby Ryan goes for it. Bobby sends it up into the centre. Noel Leonard and Noel the wire goes for it. It breaks between them. It goes to Conor Stapleton, but the referee has blown for full time.
Tense there towards the end, but I enjoyed it. It was a good game of hurling. It was very exciting. I can assure you one thing, it was nearly worse out in the sideline than it was on the field.
The ground was very bad and the conditions were bad. And the conditions in the county final were different. But I thought they played tremendous stuff.
They played anything near they played in the county final that to take a very good team to beat them. And I think the old fellas that inspired them again today played very well. I thought Noel the wire done an awful lot of work. Philip Kenny, anytime he was a danger, anytime he got it.
John, your own son went well today. I suppose an awful lot better than he did.
A better game than he had in the county final, I'd say that. They all played very well today. It was a 15-man effort, right from Noel Maher out. And I was glad that Brendan Kenny finished the hour and got the vital point at the finish.
I expected a physical game, and because the conditions suited that type of hurling, the ball wasn't going to be moving, and there was going to be an awful lot of hard pulling and that. But yes, it was physical, but not too physical. I enjoyed the game. I thought it was both teams played a 100% effort.
Some pressure there in the second half, but I think Francis Spillane, the left corner, came up trumps. And Jerry Stapleton had his best game, I'd say, for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
The heart was nearly gone. I thought I'd never get through it. We're playing to be as good as what we have, and it's the way to have it, you know, and we're delighted, and we have a lot of young lads coming through, and like a few years' time I think we'll have very good hurlers in the team again.
The direct hurling and the determination. We went out of it a bit in the second half, about the 20 minutes in the second half we got disorganised, but we came back and won. That's the thing. You as a player, dedicated and trained. There's no point doing anything else.
There, and it was great, you know. It was badly needed time. Clare were putting real pressure on us, and the point was real tonic, you know.
Corner forward on the Borris-Ileigh team. And that's it from the Gaelic Grounds in Limerick. The score, get it right this time, 2-10 to 1-9. Borris-Ileigh the winners and going to meet Clarecastle in the Munster final. The Clarecastle team, Clarecastle who beat Mount Sion in the first round and who beat St Brendan's from Kerry in the semi-final. Have the Borris-Ileigh team led by their captain Michael Ryan from Borris-Ileigh. This Munster final played here in the Gaelic Grounds in Limerick between Borris-Ileigh and Clarecastle on the last Sunday in November. Borris-Ileigh, who beat Clare in the semi-final. Clare were beaten by the favourites Middleton in the first round. The match was a draw down in Middleton, and Clare won the replay here in Limerick. I'd like to mention that this is the 100 years of Borris-Ileigh GAA on next Saturday night in Borris-Ileigh. Borris-Ileigh launched their centenary yearbook. We will have more about that probably at half-time. But now this game has aroused great interest in Clare and Tipperary. At the moment, Tip are in the second division and in third place, and Clare are top place in the first division. And of course, there was a big following in Ennis on last Sunday. 6,000 people came to Ennis to see Clare winning. So Tipperary followers looking for some excitement are expected in big force for this match here today, and it could be a great entertainment for next year's Munster Club final. And there we have the Borris-Ileigh team. See, Brendan Kenny there has come in at corner forward instead of Michael Cohen. Michael, who got injured here the last day. Brendan is in as number 16. Now there we have out in the middle of the field, we have Shane Tierney and this famous cock. As I said before, he's on the Borris-Ileigh panel in 1949, 50 and 53. He also was in the Borris-Ileigh panel in 1981, 83 and back again now in 86. I heard Tom Tierney was up at Cockrow this morning up to Sean Young to get this famous cock. So there you have famous cock and Shane Tierney as the teams come out to the centre of the field. Footnote from the last day, seemingly there was a small bit of trouble on the far side of the field, so all the spectators, all the mentors from each team have to be down here in the dugout just in front of us. There's no one allowed on the sideline at all today. That is probably precautionary measure from what went on in the Leinster Club final not so long ago. And here we have Aran Evian. And here we have, waiting for the throw-in for the Munster Club Final, Tim Borris-Ileigh and Clarecastle. Timmy Ryan there, and Victor O'Loughlin, and Christy Martin, and Conor Stapleton. As they are trying to slice, they're sizing out their men already. It seems that someone wants to mark someone else. And there you have it. As the referee prepares to throw in the ball, and the ball is in, and Borris-Ileigh or Clarecastle are first to break away. Comes out, Timmy Ryan has the ball, he sends it down to the far side of the field. It's got by Roger McMahon, he lets it through, it goes to Anthony Scanlon. He's beaten by Philip Kenny, the ball goes to John McGrath. John McGrath is fouled by Frank Rohan. It's a free in for Borris-Ileigh. This one to be taken by the veteran Noel Dwyer. Frank Rohan getting his name taken there by Frank Horgan, as he points to him and tells him that he's the referee. So Noel Dwyer comes up to take this free. He bends, he lifts, he strikes, sends a low one, it goes to Philip Kenny. Philip has it, 21 yards out, 30 yards out, he sends a high ball and sends it over the bar, and there's the first score of the game. Score for Philip Kenny. Noel Considine in the Clarecastle goal has nearly too many balls now. Prepares to go back to take the puck out. Noel Considine takes the puck out to this side of the field. Goes between Jerry Stapleton and Tom Howard. Tom Howard blocks it down. It goes to Victor O'Loughlin. Timmy Ryan pulls on it first time. Comes to where Conor Stapleton goes for it. Conor has it 40 yards out. He lets it go first time. But it goes to Pat Toohey. Pat Toohey lets it over to the far side of the field. Michael Ryan comes out to it. Runs along out towards the far side of the field. Tom Howard goes for it. He puts it out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. This line ball to be taken by Bobby Ryan. Carroll's All-Star a couple of years ago. Bobby now playing well. The ball is blocked by it's hard to know who's it for. It's for Borris-Ileigh to be taken again by Bobby Ryan. As the crowd roar their disapproval, Bobby Ryan comes up to take this line ball, a high one, over to this side of the field. It's blocked by Pat Toohey. The ball comes to Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan 40 yards out. He's hooked. Anthony Scanlon gets it out, but Richard Stapleton has it. Georgie Power go for it. A stalemate out there. Christy Maher, Francis Collins. And they're pulling very hard in there. It's a free. A foul by Georgie Power on Francis Collins. No, the wire comes, or no, Francis or Richard Stapleton to take this one. 3 minutes gone in the first half. Richard Stapleton bends over this one. He lifts it. Sends a high ball into the Clarecastle goal, but it's just gone wide. Aidan Ryan seems to have got a belt on the head already, with just 4 minutes gone in the first half. Anthony Scanlon with the puck out. Far side of the field. Timmy Ryan and Victor O'Loughlin go up for it. Timmy Ryan blocks it down. Timmy gets it over where Roger McMahon. It's blocked by Timmy Ryan. It goes to Noel Dwyer. Noel Dwyer first time in. Philip Kenny gets it in towards the Clarecastle goal. Not enough forwards inside for the good ball that he sent in. Noel Considine to take the puck out. Comes to this side of the field. Francis Collins goes for it. Goes back to Richard Stapleton. He sends it to Bobby Ryan. He lets it go through him. Aidan Ryan pulls on it first time. Victor O'Loughlin has the ball. Sends it back in to where number 15, Pascal Russell, has the ball. Pascal 40 yards out. Sends a high ball into the Borris-Ileigh goal, but the ball goes wide. Good chance there for Clarecastle. Chance there for Pascal Russell, but the ball went wide as Aidan Ryan seems to have got a dirty old belt there. Aidan got a nice belt and he's bleeding at the moment. Everything seems to be all right as Paddy Doyle comes back out. Nolly Maher takes the ball. It comes to this side of the field. Francis Collins has it. Francis lets it go along the ground. Blocked by Paddy Quinn. Brendan Kenny has the ball. 40 yards out. He's going through. Sends the ball high in towards the Clarecastle goal, but the ball has gone wide. Well tried there for Brendan Kenny, but they have put 2 wides in the first few minutes. Noel Considine takes the puck out between Victor O'Loughlin and Timmy Ryan. Victor O'Loughlin gets the ball, but he loses it. John Callanan gets the ball up along the far side of the field, up to Dermot Fitzgerald and Michael Ryan. Dermot Fitzgerald gets the ball, sends it into Victor O'Loughlin. He's the first time. Francis Spillane gets it, he loses it, goes to Pascal Russell, into Georgie O'Connor, Georgie O'Loughlin. Georgie, 21 yards out, he sends the ball over the bar. Bit of uncertainty there in the Borris-Ileigh full back line. See, 2 of them seem to have got it, and then Georgie O'Loughlin got the ball and sent it over the bar. Jerry O'Loughlin is of course a brother of midfielder Victor, as Nolly Maher takes the puck out. Straight down into between Jerry Stapleton pulls it, and it comes to Richard Stakelum. He sends it over to the far side of the field. Conor Stakelum pulls, misses it, gets it in again. It goes into Philip Kenny. Philip, 21 yards out. He's going through, he sends it to Brendan Kenny. He overruns it as the ball comes out to Pat Toohey. He's blocked by Brendan Kenny. Pat Toohey gets it again. He loses it again. He picks the ball off the ground and it's free into Borris-Ileigh. Free there to be taken there by an all the wire. Well Harris there by Brendan Kenny. I saw Noel here the last day against Clare, he put over harder ones than this. He bends, he lifts, he strikes, sends the ball high and sends it over the bar, and a great point there from Noel the Wire. Score now, Borris-Ileigh 2 points, Clarecastle 1 point. As Noel Considine comes up to take the puck out. Comes out to this side of the field. Very close towards the sideline. Francis Collins and Christy Martin. Francis gets the better of that. The ball comes up along the line from Pat Toohey, and it's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Richard Stakelum. Great excitement, a rather small crowd in compared to the last day. Richard Stakelum goes, Conor Stakelum to take this one as Mick Collins is very near the play. And the ball goes in towards Philip Kenny, and there's a pull there by Christy Martin on Aidan Ryan. And Pat Toohey has a go at Aidan Ryan again. Yes, this is getting a small bit scrappy at the moment, with some of the Clarecastle lads very determined to make sure that they're not beaten. Seems to be a Clarecastle man down injured. It's number 3, Anthony Scanlon, and he would be a loss to Clarecastle. As Noel the Wire comes up to take this free. Noel places the ball as referee Jerry Horgan looks on. Noel, he bends, lifts, he strikes and sends the ball over the bar, and that's another point for Borris-Ileigh. Borris-Ileigh 3 points, Clarecastle 1 point. And Clarecastle are not doing any good by giving away these frees to Noel the Wire, because he's one of the best sharpshooters in Tipperary hurling. He has proved it in 81 and 83 that he can be as sharp as anyone in the country. Noel Considine takes the puck out, far side of the field. Victor O'Loughlin and Timmy Ryan go for it. Timmy Ryan blocks it down. It comes to Roger McMahon. Stalemate there as Victor O'Loughlin gets the ball. He's blocked down by Noel the Wire. The ball comes into Philip Kenny. Philip 40 yards out. He's hooshed off the ball. John McGrath has it, 40 yards out. John finding it hard to get it up at the moment, but John gets his shot in and sends the ball high and sends it over the bar. There's a great point from John McGrath. John McGrath there, number 14. John Notting have had the best of seasons, but if he comes well today, well, all will be forgiven. As Noel Considine has the ball in the Clarecastle goal mouth. with the score 4 points to 1. Considine takes the puck out this side of the field. Up goes Collins and Christy Martin again. It goes to Tom Howard. He's hooked by Collins. Puts in his head. Aidan Ryan has the ball. He gets it in towards the Clarecastle goal. It's blocked by Frank Rohan. Sends it out. Philip Kenny goes for it. Philip, 50 yards out. He's hooked. Ball goes to Pat Toohey. Toohey left-handed. Sends it up the middle of the field. Jerry Stapleton has it. Timmy Ryan goes to Noel the Wire. Noel the Wire first time goes into the Clarecastle goal. It's a high ball. No forwards in again, but Noel Considine gets the ball out to the centre of the field. Goes to Pat Toohey, but Bobby Ryan has it 70 yards out. A high ball again, or a low ball this time. Goes in towards the Clarecastle goal. And it seemed Aidan Ryan seemed to have got an injury there out in the centre of the field. You have Stapleton and Mick Collins out with him. Aidan seems to be badly injured. Still Borris-Ileigh having an awful lot of the play in the first 10 minutes of the game. With the score 4 points to Borris-Ileigh, 1 point to Clarecastle. As Aidan Ryan is all right again and comes out to his position here at right half forward. Anthony Noel Considine with the puck out. A high one. Goes up again between Timmy Ryan and Victor O'Loughlin. Timmy gets the better. The ball goes to Paddy Quinn. He sends it up to the far side of the field. And a pull by Michael Ryan on Dermot Fitzgerald. Number 15, Pascal Russell, to come over and take this one. Pascal Russell playing at number 15, left corner forward. Pascal was a former inter-county player. He comes up to this one, he bends, he lifts, he strikes, and he sends it wide. That's not a good shot from Pascal. Usually fairly accurate from that position. 11 minutes gone in the first half as Noel the Wire takes this puck out. Down the centre. Timmy Ryan gets the better of this one again. The ball goes to Aidan Ryan. Christy Martin has it. Comes out to Georgie O'Connor. Richard Stakelum has it. Richard gets it along the ground. It goes out to Timmy Ryan. Timmy gets it first time, but it goes... Anthony Scanlon has the ball. Francis Collins. Ball comes to Philip Kenny. Number 4, Bernie Lynch sends it out to Christy Martin. Francis Collins fouls Christy Martin, and there's a free in to Clarecastle. A lot of sizing up being done all over the field. This one is to be taken by Tommy Howard back on the Clarecastle 70 yard line. Sends a low one, it comes to Jerry Stapleton. Richard Stapleton comes out of the ball. Lets it go along the ground. Goes towards Pat Toohey. Pat Toohey is fouled by Francis Collins. And there's a free for Clarecastle. Pat Toohey seemed to have kept coming there. This free to be taken by Tom Howard. Tom usually plays somewhere around the half-back line. He's a natural backman, but he comes up to this. He comes up to take this free. He sends a high one, but it goes now and goes to the right and goes wide. Clarecastle not doing so well from their frees, and maybe it'll be to their detriment in the second half as Nolly Maher takes the puck out this side of the field. Christy Martin and Francis Collins. Francis gets the better of this one. Goes up to number 4, Barney Lynch. Jerry Stapleton. Francis Spillane has it. Francis lets the ball out towards the sideline. Pulled by Jerry Stapleton. Goes over to Johnny Callan. Johnny, number 10, Clare County Senior Hurler. Ball goes in between Timmy Stapleton. Timmy gets it out to Francis Spillane. Francis first time. Ball comes out to Bobby Ryan. Bobby loses it. Ball is on the ground. And there's tempers flying there. As there's a throw in. This one between Conor Stakelum and Tom Howard. Tommy Howard pulls and the ball goes over where Timmy Ryan gets it, this side of the field. Ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Clarecastle. Borris-Ileigh ahead 4 points to 1, and exciting enough first half. With tempers rising and players sorting each other out, looks to be going to be a lively match. As Christy Martin takes a low one. Jerry Stapleton has it, pulls first time, gets it down towards Brendan Kenny and Bernie Lynch. The ball runs through to Philip Kenny. He has the ball 40 yards out, sends it over to where Noel Dwyer goes for it. Noel is fouled there by Anthony Scanlon, and that's a free into Borris-Ileigh. A hard pull there by Anthony Scanlon late. Free into Borris-Ileigh. Noel Dwyer talking there to John McGrath, or to Paddy Dial, sorry. Paddy, of course, himself, brother of the famous Jimmy Dial. But Noel Dwyer take this free. Bends, lifts, strikes, and the high one and sends it over the bar, and that extends Borris-Ileigh lead to 5 points to 1. And remember, the wind is hardly existent at all. Noel Considine trying to slow things down. Clarecastle seem to be giving away an awful lot of frees in the first 15 minutes. Noel Considine takes the ball. It blocks down to the Borris-Ileigh half-back line. Bobby Ryan doing great covering back there. Sends the ball up to this side of the field. Brendan Kenny lets it run on to Aidan Ryan. Aidan has it. 30 yards out. He sends a high ball. Sends it across the goals, but it's gone wide. Good shot there by Aidan Ryan. Borris-Ileigh doing a lot of first-time hurling. A report from last night that we play to our strength, and that's the first-time ball. Seem to have paid up to this, with Borris-Ileigh 5 points to 1 ahead as Noel Considine takes the puck out. This side of the field. High one. It goes Christy Martin and Francis Collins. Francis Collins breaks it down. Aidan Ryan lets it run through. But Roger McMahon sends it up to the far side of the field. Michael Ryan is pulled. Dermot Fitzgerald pulls on it. Ball comes out. Michael Ryan has it. Michael is fouled there by Dermot Fitzgerald. A late pull. And the summon Aidan Ryan has been fouled again. Aidan is getting an awful lot of punishment from this Clarecastle team. They must find an awful lot of danger in this man. That's, I think, about the 4th time that he has been grounded in the first 15 minutes. You have a lot of the Borris-Ileigh mentors there. Noel Dwyer there, very, very worried about what's going on. Of Bobby Ryan there, Mick Collins told to get away as he sneaks back for a hurley. Borris-Ileigh ahead 5 points to 1. To take this free. On the halfway line he sends a high one. Yes, and sends it over the bar. Another great point from Noel Dwyer. Oh, it should give some of these young lads in Borris-Ileigh great heart to see a man of 37 years of age come out and hurl the way he's hurling today. Borris-Ileigh 6 points, Clarecastle 1. And the roar of the crowd goes up as Noel Considine take this puck out as John McGrath goes wing forward. A great catch there by Richard Stakelum. Sends it in, it goes into Frank Rohan. Frank Rohan sends it back out. It goes to Pat Toohey. Timmy Ryan pulls on it first time. Goes to Noel Dwyer. He lets it run through. Johnny Callan has the ball. Johnny is fouled by both Noel Dwyer and Bobby Ryan. There's a free for Clarecastle. This one to be taken by Christy Martin. Christy, left-handed. Sends a high ball in towards the Borris-Ileigh goal. It's going to the right. And it's gone wide. Yes, Clarecastle missing an awful lot of chances. I can count on 4 chances they had from frees there, and they have all gone wide. Again, the score, 6 points for Borris-Ileigh, 1 point for Clarecastle. Nolly Maher takes the puck out this side of the field. John McGrath goes up for it. John gets it. Sends it along the ground. Pat Toohey has the ball. Pat Toohey holds the ball a bit long as George O'Connor gets it into Pascal Russell. He lets the ball run through as Timmy Stapleton. Francie Spillane goes back for it. Francie with number 4 on his back. Francie loses the ball. Gets it again though. He lets it go along the ground. It goes to Jerry Stapleton. Jerry left hand to the far side of the field. Roger McMahon and Conor Stapleton, Philip Kenny and Anthony Scanlon. Ball goes out over the line from Anthony Scanlon's shot, and it's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan comes up to this one, a good cut, and towards Philip Kenny. But Pat Toohey has the ball, he loses it. Frank Rohan gets the ball out, but Alderweireld gets it back in. Ball comes to Philip Kenny. Philip lets it go along the ground as number 4, Barney Lynch, goes for it. He's chased by Brendan Kenny. Oh, Brendan a bit unlucky there as Barney Lynch comes out of the ball. He hand passes it. Comes out to Francis Collins. Francis 70 yards out. It's a free in for Borris-Ileigh again. Borris-Ileigh harassing very well. A great catch there in the air by Francis Collins. And now we have Noel Dwyer taking his time. Comes out to take this free. 21 minutes gone as Noel Dwyer takes this free and sends it over the bar again. Yes, it's just like drinking a cup of tea to this man. As he directs someone to get back into their positions. Frank Rohan or Noel Considine to take this puck out. The referee, I don't know what he's at there, but anyway, we'll keep up with the play as Noel Considine takes the puck out. A low one this time. It goes for John McGrath, goes for it, but breaks through to Jerry Stapleton. Jerry gets along the ground as Georgie O'Connor has it. Georgie is tackled by Francis Collins. The ball goes in high at Francis Spillane. Pascal Russell. Pascal 21 yards out. He passes it out to Tom Howard. Tom Howard gets a low one. Timmy Stapleton goes back. Timmy, a loosish ball into Victor O'Loughlin. Victor O'Loughlin is fouled by Timmy Stapleton, and there's a free into Clarecastle. Victor O'Loughlin roaming all over the place, but Timmy Ryan, I would say, up to this has the measure of him as Pascal Russell comes to take this free. John McGrath calling over Rory Canaan as the referee blows his whistle for Pascal Russell to take this 21. Sends a high one and sends it over the bar. A bit wayward, but still send it over the bar. And the score is 7 points to Borris-Ileigh, 2 points to Clarecastle. Nolly Maher to take this puck out. Borris-Ileigh well entitled to the way to be 5 points ahead with the way they're hurling. As Paddy Quinn blocks it down. Bobby Ryan gets it in. Roger McMahon gets it back up again where Jerry Stapleton has it. Jerry sends it down the far side of the field. It goes to Aidan Ryan. Aidan lets it first time along the ground in towards Conor Stapleton. Anthony Scanlon come out there pulling, but there's a throw in. Willie Horgan says there's a throw in. Goes between Noel Dwyer and Paddy Quinn. Referee Paddy Quinn has the ball. Goes to Noel Dwyer. Stalemate out there as Noel Dwyer gets it hockey style down along the side. It goes to Francis Collins. Francis 40 yards out. He's going through. Sends a high one into Brendan Kenny. Brendan Kenny 14 yards out. Sends the ball in the goal. Yes! Oh, there by Brendan Kenny. Brendan who came on as a sub before the match for the injured Mick Cohn. Got the ball there 21 yards out. Rounded his man and sent it left-handed into the corner of the net. 23 minutes gone in the first half. Scored 1-7 to Borris-Ileigh, 2 points to Clarecastle. Noel Considine takes the puck out. Comes to this side of the field. Up goes Francis Collins and Christy Martin. Christy Martin gets the better of this one, but the ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. Jerry Stapleton hands the ball to Richard Stakelum, and that definitely is a great lift to Borris-Ileigh. 1-7 to 2 points. Richard Stapleton sends it over towards Bobby Ryan. Bobby and John Callan. Bobby has it centre of the field. Sends it into Aidan Ryan. Aidan Ryan 40 yards out, sends a high ball, but it's gone wide this time. Great start there by Borris-Ileigh. Brendan definitely deserves a big stake after that goal that he got. Maybe Joe will give him one tomorrow. Noel Considine to take this puck out. Sends it down, centre of the field. Ball breaks, Jerry Stapleton gets it. Comes to Timmy Ryan and all the wire. Ball breaks to Aidan Ryan. Aidan lets it first time over towards Brendan Kenny. Brendan Kenny and Barney Lynch go for it. Brendan is beaten this time by Barney. Ball comes up to where all the wire goes for it. Georgie Power has it. Georgie loses it. It goes to Paddy Quinn. Paddy is fouled there by all the wire, and it's a free. Free to Clarecastle to be taken by Tom Howard. Tom Howard coming back an awful long way to take this free, as I think he has switched with Christy Martin. A low one over to Georgie Power. Georgie has the ball. He's coming back out the field. Goes into where Dermot Fitzgerald, but Bobby Ryan gets it out to this side of the field. Francis Collins gets it first time. Comes to Pat Toohey. John McGrath goes to Richard Stapleton. Richard has it. He's coming out. Sends the ball over to John McGrath. John McGrath and Pat Toohey. Brendan Kenny fouls Pat Toohey there. Instead of letting the ball go first time. Too much picking. This free to be taken by Barney Lynch. Barney sends the ball down this side of the field as Francis Villan goes for it. He seemed to be fouled there by Pascal Russell. Ball goes to Timmy Ryan. Timmy first time gets it down to Conor Stapleton. Conor Stapleton has it run through to Aidan Ryan. Aidan gets it back to Timmy Ryan. They're going backwards at the moment. The ball comes to Michael Ryan. He gets it along the ground. Conor Stapleton again. Conor has it at the far side of the field. He's half blocked down. Francis Collins. Pat Toohey. Brendan Kenny fouls him. Borris-Ileigh starting the foul in the way Clarecastle were in the first 20 minutes as Tommy Howe comes up to take this free. Tommy on the Clarecastle side of the centre of the field sends a high ball into the Borris-Ileigh goals, but again it goes to the right and goes wide. Some great chances there for Clarecastle from frees going to waste as Borris-Ileigh lead by 10 points to 2. 1-7 to 2 points as Noel Limahar takes the puck out. Comes to this side of the field. Francis Collins and Tommy Howard. Tommy Howard puts up his hand. Ball goes to Tommy Howard again. Jerry Stapleton comes out to meet him. Jerry blocks it down. Goes to Francis Collins. Francis on the ground. It comes to Richard Stapleton. Bobby Ryan has the ball. Bobby is fouled there by Georgie Power. And there's a free to Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Richard Stapleton. An awful lot of frees here in the first half, with Borris-Ileigh 1-7 to 2 points, as the captain of the Tipperary team comes up to take this free, Richard Stapleton. Richie sends a high one in towards the Clarecastle goal. In goes Conor Stapleton for this one. Conor has it, and it goes out over the line. A great chance there for Conor Stapleton. He was running on well to it. Philip Kenny let the ball run through. Conor was moving in, but just didn't get the right feel of the ball. As Noel Considine to take this puck out. Far side of the field. Victor O'Loughlin and Timmy Ryan. Timmy Ryan gets the better of it again. Johnny Callan. Francis Collins. Ball goes into Philip Kenny. Philip Kenny. Brendan Kenny. Ball comes to Noel the Wire. Noel the Wire on the halfway line. Paddy Quinn came to him, but Noel the Wire has it again. He sends it in towards the Clarecastle goal. Into Noel Considine. The Borris-Ileigh forward line out very far. It's Timmy Ryan and Victor O'Loughlin gets it. Jerry Stapleton has it in towards Aidan Ryan. Ball goes along the ground as Paddy Quinn has it. Ball goes far side of the field. Timmy Ryan goes over for it. Ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Borris-Ileigh. Some of the Borris-Ileigh mentors that want to get onto their forward line to stay in a bit more. They seem to be coming out an awful lot. as Bobby Ryan comes up to take this line ball with Johnny Callanan loose on his own in the middle of the field. Bobby gets it in towards Noel Dwyer and Paddy Quinn. The ball comes out along the ground. Francis Collins goes for it. Here's to go along the ground in towards Philip Kenny. Philip is fouled there by Anthony Scanlon. Free in, and this could be another nail in their coffin as Noel Dwyer comes out to take this one. Brendan Kenny there came out wing forward. John McGrath went back in corner. Noel Dwyer steadies himself, goes away from the ball and has a few thoughts on what he's going to do as the referee blows the whistle. Noel comes back over leisurely, as cool as a cucumber. Steps up, sends it high and sends it over the bar, and another point for Borris-Ileigh. Borris-Ileigh go 1 goal and 8 points ahead to Clarecastle's 2 points. And the time is very nearly up in the first half as Noel Considine pucks the ball out. Sends it in towards the centre of the field. The referee blows the whistle for half time with the score Borris-Ileigh 1 goal and 8 points. Clarecastle 2 points. And a great first half there from Noel Dwyer with a great goal from Brendan Kenny as well. And there you have the famous Noel. Noel, 37 years of age, a legend in Borris-Ileigh hurling for the last 25 years. With Conor Stakelum there in front of him. And there you have the Borris-Ileigh team. And there's Francis Spillane. Francie, of course, is a manager in a hotel down in Clare, as you have Timmy Stapleton and Michael Ryan going in. Michael is the captain, of course, and there is Paddy Dial. Paddy, who came to Borris-Ileigh when Borris-Ileigh got demoralised by Kilrowan. Paddy now in his first Munster Club final, and there is Nolly Maher. Nolly, who made some fantastic saves on the way to this final. And there you have Billy Devaney and Rory Canaan. Billy, of course, another legend in Borris-Ileigh hurling and in Tipperary hurling. Billy, who hurled, you could say, on his own for Borris-Ileigh at one stage. And there you have a fine crowd here at this match. Probably not as big as the last day, but big enough. And there you have it, half-time the score. Borris-Ileigh 1-8, Clarecastle 2 points, and we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome to the Gaelic Grounds in Limerick at half-time the score. Borris-Ileigh 1-8, Clarecastle 2 points. I have here with me Michael Dundon from the Tipperary Star and Seamus Hayes from the Clare Champion. Michael Dundon here first. Michael, they're going pretty well, aren't they?
Well, I could see the Borris-Ileigh lads going in at half-time. I saw Paddy Dial smiling, and I think it's fairly indicative of the way the game has gone for Borris-Ileigh. They've been on top around the middle of the field. Timmy Ryan and particularly Francis Spillane, or Francis Collins rather, I thought was having a tremendous game, and Richard Stakelum from the half-back line, and Noel Dwyer was doing an awful lot of work at half-forward line, so they really controlled it out around that area, and the scores have been coming, and it's looking good for Borris-Ileigh, I think, at this stage.
Seamus, your big guns just don't seem to be producing it today.
No, I'd say Clarecastle must be worried at this stage. The likes of John Callan, Victor O'Loughlin, of whom a lot would be expected, aren't dominating as they have been doing in the games that got them to the final. As Michael said, Borris-Ileigh are commanding it half-back and midfield, and because of that they're putting terrible pressure on the Clarecastle backline. And I think Clarecastle are fortunate not to be further behind at this stage. They've a hard battle ahead of them in the second half, but they've shown all year in Clare that if anything, they don't lack in determination, and that they will come out determined that they're still well in the contest and to give it everything for the second half, but they have an uphill struggle.
Probably some of them seem to be over-enthusiastic at some of the frees they're giving away.
Yeah, they've given in the first quarter of an hour in particular, I think they give away some more or less needless frees, and Noel Dwyer has punished them on each occasion. They have got 3 or 4 frees which they have, from their point of view, unfortunately put wide. But they've settled down maybe a little in the last 10 minutes, but again they just can't get a grip at midfield, or they can't get past the Borris-Ileigh half-back line often enough, and I think they're going to have to make a number of changes in that area if they hope to get hinted in the second half.
Lovely, Seamus. Michael, Mick Cohen, of course, was injured before the match, and that brought in Brendan Kenny. Brendan scored a great goal, didn't he?
Indeed, Brendan has done very well. Actually, Borris-Ileigh were very lucky to have somebody of Brendan's experience available to come in, because Brendan is well used to the big time from his time back the years. And as I said, they were very lucky. Though I suppose young Brian Kenny some might feel a little feel that he was a little unfortunate in that he had played in a lot of the championship games in the earlier rounds, but I'm sure Brian will get his chance when the time comes. The one thing that just struck me, the whole thing is, from my experience of Borris-Ileigh, is that when they build up a big lead like this is the time that they're most vulnerable, as they tend to have a tendency to slacken off when they establish a lead. And I think that I would imagine that inside now, Paddy Doyle is probably drumming into him that the first 10 minutes or quarter an hour of the second half is going to be crucial, that they'll have to really put this game beyond Clarecastle's reach at the start of the second half, just to make a formality of the closing stage. But as I said, it's looking good for Borris-Ileigh.
The full back line seemed to be a small bit shaky at times.
That's right. I thought Francis Spillane seemed to be coming too fast to the ball, and the ball is sticking in the mud. At least not the mud, but the pitch is heavy, and the ball is coming a little too fast for it. He might be better off if he was more cautious in his approach. But I think they're doing well. Mike Ryan is hurling well, and Timmy as full back is hurling soundly, I think.
You're expecting a lively second half, Mick, are you?
Well, we're hoping for a Tipperary win anyway, and a Borris-Ileigh win, of course.
Seamus, do you expect a lot of improvements in the second half from Clarecastle?
Well, I expect some. I honestly doubt at this stage if they can do enough to pull it out, to pull it back. I think Borris-Ileigh seem to be very commanding in most positions throughout the field. They're hurling with great determination, and they have tremendous support behind them. And I feel it will be very difficult for Clarecastle. But knowing Clarecastle and the way they've hurled in Clare, they will give it everything, and they're not going to go down without a fight.
And there you have it. Here at half-time, Michael Dundon, Tipperary star. Remember what Borris-Ileigh can do. They can sit down. But then again, the score is 1-8 to 2 points. It just looks, it doesn't look as if Borris just have to go out and play. They'll have to play as hard as they did in the first half. We'll be back to you in a moment with the second half. Borris-Ileigh team. There you have Jerry Stapleton, Conor Stapleton, Francis Spillane holding his side, Brendan Kenny, Timmy Stapleton, Philip Kenny, Timmy Ryan, and Aidan Ryan, who got an awful lot of punishment in the first half. And Noel Dwyer probably the man of the match up to this. Borris-Ileigh 1-8, Clarecastle 2 points. As we look out towards the centre of the field with Timmy Ryan, Christy Martin, Francis Collins and Victor O'Loughlin, and of course the referee. As the referee puts down his hand for the ball, Victor O'Loughlin and Francis Collins go for it. Noel Dwyer gets the ball in, Pat Toohey has it. Locked out to Philip Kenny. The match is only on a few seconds, and Philip Kenny has the ball and puts it over the bar, and that's a tonic start there for Borris-Ileigh. Just after about 20 seconds. As Mick Collins sends out a hurley out to Francis. Noel Considine with the puck out. Sends it to the far side of the field. Up goes Francis Collins, and Christy Martin gets the ball on. It goes where number 17, Georgie Power, gets it into Pascal Russell. Francis Spillane fouls Pascal Russell as a free into Clarecastle. Pascal Russell goes out to take this free. About a yard in from the far sideline as he takes it high, sends it in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals, and the ball goes over the bar. Yes, a great point there by Pascal Russell. Fancy he'd want to get out in front of his man. This man is very dangerous when he gets the ball into his hand. There's an official there, and TF has been caught by the referee as he was taken in water. As he runs back in, and Noel Considine, or Noel Maher takes the puck out this side of the field. Noel Dwyer blocks it in, and Timmy Ryan. Clarecastle lads battling each other up. The ball comes to John McGrath, Francis Collins and Christy Martin as Victor O'Loughlin goes for it. Victor gets it down the far side of the field. Pascal Russell and Francis Spillane. It breaks to Pascal Russell. Francis Spillane follows him in. Pascal loses. It goes back for it again. Pascal sends it into number 10, Johnny Calnan. Johnny still has it. He sends a high ball into towards the Borris-Ileigh goal. Noel Maher has the ball. Noel is fouled by Dermot Fitzgerald. Well caught there by Noel Maher as Dermot Fitzgerald came in on him. Noel with a free out from his own square. Rises, sends it to this side of the field. Timmy Ryan and Victor O'Loughlin. Goes to Noel Dwyer. Noel Dwyer is going through. Still going through. He sends it on to Conor Stapleton. Conor has the ball 30 yards out, 21 yards out. He sends a high ball in towards the Clarecastle goal, but the ball has gone wide. Good move there by Noel the Wire. Ball out to Conor Stapleton. Conor ran in towards the 21-yard line. Send the ball just barely to the left and wide as Noel Considine takes the puck out. Sends it out, far side of the field. Pat Toohey has the ball. He's there by, but gets the ball to Richard Stapleton. Richard gets it in towards the Clarecastle goal as Aidan Ryan goes for it. Ball is blocked out to Paddy Quinn. Aidan Ryan goes out with him. Number 2, Frank Rohan, gets it out to John McGrath, and Christy Martin goes for it. Christy Martin pulls across John McGrath, and there's a free into Borris-Ileigh. And this one will be taken again by Noel the Wire. About 3 minutes gone in the first half. Noel the Wire over on the far side of the field. About 50 yards out. He bends, he lifts, he strikes, sends a low one in towards the Clarecastle goal. Oh, and Aidan Ryan was coming in for that one. It looked very dangerous there, but the ball just went wide. Oh, that could have been an awful lot of trouble there for Clarecastle with the fast-running Aidan Ryan coming in, but just barely missed it. Noel Considine takes the puck out. Drops on the 70-yard line. Francis Collins has the ball. Francis on the far side of the field. Lets it in across the goals. It goes into where Brendan Kenny and Barney Lynch go for it. Barney Lynch loses it. Ball comes out to Aidan Ryan, to Brendan Kenny. Barney has it, but Brendan gets it across the Clarecastle goal. Conor Stapleton has it. Conor was going in. Didn't seem to be in the square, so it seemed to be running in. Good ball across there from Brendan Kenny. Considine takes the puck out. Francis Collins locks it down. It goes to Christy Martin. Francis Collins again. Tom Howard. Christy Martin again. Francis Collins gets it along the ground. Noel the Wire has the ball. Sends it in towards Anthony Scanlon. Victor O'Loughlin. Ball comes down towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Francis Phelan puts up his hand for it. Francie gets it out this side of the field. Gets a go along the ground. Beaten, it comes to Georgie O'Connor. Francis Phelan again. Pascal Russell has the ball. Pascal 50 yards out. A hand pass into Johnny Callan. Johnny Callan 40 yards out, sends the high ball and sends it over the bar. Good pass there by Pascal Russell into Johnny Callan. Johnny Callan, Clare star as number 16 for Clarecastle, is about to come into the team. Nolly Maher gets the puck out to the far side of the field. Goes to Noel the Wire. Noel the Wire has the ball. Sends it in towards the Clarecastle goal. Noel Considine has it. Victor O'Loughlin goes for it. Goes to Christy Martin. A lot of ground hurling being played at the moment as Bobby Ryan and John Callan goes back for the ball. Bobby Ryan has it up along this side of the field. He's going on a solo run. Ball goes out over the line. Clarecastle ball, so the linesman says. Number 5 for Clarecastle, Roger McMahon, to take this line left-handed. He sends a good one down the far side of the field. Dermot Fitzgerald has the ball. Sends a low one in where Richard Stapleton has it. Richard sends it up this side of the field. Goes to his brother Conor, but the ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Clarecastle to be taken by Roger McMahon. As the linesman points where this line ball is to be taken. Roger McMahon, a high one again. Goes, Jerry Stapleton blocks it down to Bobby Ryan. Bobby is fouled again by Johnny Callan. There's a free, this one to be taken by Jerry Stapleton. Jerry, number 6 on his back for Borris-Ileigh, former County Tipperary hurler. Could be back in the panel very soon as the ball goes in towards Philip Kenny and Barney Lynch. Philip has the ball. It's coming across the goals. Philip is fouled by Anthony Scanlon, and there's a free into Borris-Ileigh. This one to be taken again by Noel the Wire. And this looks to be a foregone conclusion again as Noel comes up to take it. I don't think Noel has missed any free. I don't think he has missed any free yet today as he comes up to take this one. He sends it high and sends it over the bar, and Borris-Ileigh extend their lead to 110 to 4 points. As number 16 Kenny Morrissey goes in as a sub for Clarecastle. Paddy Quinn, number 6, is taken off. Kenny Morris comes on instead of Paddy Quinn as Tom Howard goes back centre back. Anthony Scanlon with the puck out. Blocked down by John McGrath. Number 7, Pat Toohey has it. Is fouled by John McGrath and there's a free into Clarecastle. This one to be taken by Tom Howard. And Tom back in probably his best position. He sends a high one in towards the Borris-Ileigh goal. Georgie O'Loughlin has it. He's brought out by Timmy Stapleton. Francis Collins. Ball comes out into the sub. Kenny Morrissey has the ball. He's beaten. He sends it out to Pat Toohey. Pat Toohey left-handed sends a high one in. It goes to where Timmy Ryan has it. Richard Stakelum. It comes out to Johnny Callan. Johnny Callan at 40 yards out, drops the ball. It comes to Christy Martin. Great harassing there by the Borris-Ileigh backman. Christy Martin gets a low ball in. It goes to Nolly Maher. Nolly sends it high and the ball goes off his Hurley. Lucky enough there from a shot from Christy Martin. Ball goes in over the bar. A point for Clarecastle. Score then. Clarecastle 5 points. Borris-Ileigh 110. As the ball goes out to the far side of the field, Pat Toohey and John McGrath. Pat Toohey puts up his hand for it. Ball goes to Noel the Wire. He sends it on to John McGrath. John is beaten by Pat Toohey, but the ball goes in towards the... Tom Howard has it. Tom sends it to this side of the field. Michael Ryan and Fitzgerald. Michael Ryan has it. Stalemate there as Jerry Stapleton gets the ball out. Francis Collins. Christy Martin has it. Christy Martin gets it into Georgie O'Loughlin. Georgie tries to sidestep Timmy Stapleton. He fouls the ball and it's a free out to Borris-Ileigh. Georgie not getting as much room as he did against Mount Sion or against St. Brendan's. And Richard Stakelum comes to take this free. Right half back for Tipperary. Richard sends a low one down this side of the field, down to his brother Connor. Connor has the ball, 40 yards out. He tries to round his man. He sends a high ball in towards the Clarecastle goal. Brendan Kenny down on top of this one. Brendan has it in his hand. He's going through. Sends it into John McGrath. The ball comes to Philip Kenny. Philip Kenny, 21 yards out. He sends a high ball, but it's gone wide. Great chance there for Borris-Ileigh. A pass from Brendan Kenny out to John McGrath. The ball went to Brendan Kenny, but wasted his chance and sent the ball wide. 110 to 5 points as Noel Considine takes the puck out to the centre of the field. Francis Collins and Christy Martin. Victor O'Loughlin, Aidan Ryan, Victor O'Loughlin again. It goes to Francis Collins. Francis playing well at centre field. Ball goes into Anthony Scanlon and Philip Kenny. Philip Kenny has the ball. Goes up along the far side of the field. He evades 2 men. He sends the ball into Noel the Wire. Noel is beaten there by number 7. It comes to Victor O'Loughlin. Victor is stopped by Timmy Ryan. And the referee blows the whistle for a throw-in. Well stopped there by Timmy Ryan. Ball is thrown in. Victor O'Loughlin gets the ball up the far side of the field. Timmy Stapleton and Georgie O'Connor comes out. Timmy gets the better of this one. The ball goes to Johnny Callan. Johnny, 60 yards out, sends the ball over to the far side of the field where Pascal Russell goes for it. Francis Spillane following him. Pascal on the far side of the field, trying to round Francis Spillane. He gets through him. Ball comes in, Pascal Russell gets it out. Jerry Stapleton has it. Well stopped there by Jerry as he gets a shot across the eye. Jerry goes down in the goal 14-yard line. Well saved there by Jerry Stapleton. That could have been very dangerous for Borris-Ileigh with the score 110 to 5 points. And Clarecastle have given away an awful lot of frees. And there you have Jerry Stapleton getting a bandage over his eye as number 15 Pascal Russell goes in to see how he is. John's ambulance men there sup of water might fix it, or I wonder what else is in that bottle. As Nolly Maher comes out to take this free, Jerry is all right again. Nolly Maher takes this free, far side of the field, goes out to where Aidan Ryan goes for it. Noel the wire, Noel has it, hasn't, it's gone out to where Pat Toohey goes for it, and Victor O'Loughlin. Victor playing very far back in his own half. Francis Plan and Pascal Russell goes for it. Francie gets this one, but he loses it again. Georgie Power has it, and Richard Stakelum, well blocked back by Richard, and Francis Plan. Richard on the far side of the field, blocked down there. The ball comes out to Georgie O'Loughlin, picks it off the ground. Georgie is going to put it in his pocket, I think, but as nothing is going right for Clarecastle, with Richard Stakelum to take this free. And Borris-Ileigh would want to start playing a bit better, because they're losing grip in certain areas as Richard Stakelum get this free. It comes out to where Conor Stakelum has it, 40 yards out. Conor sends a high ball in towards the Clarecastle goal, and it's gone over the bar. Yes, a great point from the young fella. County minor for Tipperary this year, played at centre forward. Conor sent the ball there, send a nice point. Score Clarecastle 5 points, Borris-Ileigh 1-11. As Anthony Scanlon takes this puck out, the ball goes to Georgie, the sub for Clarecastle. Conor Stakelum, or Richard Stakelum, goes after him. He's bottled up. Richard Stakelum, he gets his shot in, and the ball goes wide. That's young Morrissey, Kevin Morrissey. Nolly Maher with the puck out. A long one. Far side of the field. It comes down between Pat Toohey and Aidan Ryan. Tommy Howard is blocked by Noel the Wire, gets it out to Aidan Ryan. Aidan lets it go along the ground. Goes to Noel the Wire. Tommy Howard. Francis Collins. Bernie Lynch, Timmy Stapleton and Georgie O'Connor. Timmy gets a great catch out towards Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan first time in towards Philip Kenny. Philip has the ball 40 yards out. It's a bit hot, but it goes out. The ball goes out to Bernie Lynch. Bernie Lynch first time up to Timmy Ryan. It breaks through him. Goes to Jerry Stapleton. Ball out to number 17, Georgie Power. He's going down along the far side of the field. Borris-Ileigh doing an awful lot of missing as Jerry O'Loughlin has the ball. He sends it low in towards and the ball is in the net. A goal there by Dermot Fitzgerald. Uncertainty in the Borris-Ileigh back line as Dermot Fitzgerald took a shot and the ball went into the net. And the Borris-Ileigh mentors are looking all around, and I would suggest that they haven't made their changes quick enough as Nolly Maher prepares to take this puck out, and they just don't know who they're going to bring in or what changes they're going to make. As Brian Kenny comes in as a sub, and who is going to go off? Conor Stakelum, or Aidan Ryan, I think, is going off. Yes, Aidan got an injury there in the first half, got a lot of harassment. Nolly Maher takes this puck out now with Clarecastle hurling well. As Brendan Kenny gets the ball up to John McGrath. John McGrath 40 yards out, he's going through. John seemed to be fouled there. The ball comes to Pat Toohey. Pat Toohey is fouled over on the far side of the field. Borris-Ileigh want to cool themselves. They're getting very excited. They want to pick up their men. There's a lot of men going loose out in the middle of the field. Tom Howard takes the ball. It comes to Christy Martin. Christy Martin sends a high ball in towards the Borris-Ileigh goal, but the ball has gone wide. Great uncertainty at this stage of the match by Borris-Ileigh. And this game not over yet as number 22 for Clarecastle comes in. Liam Daly is coming in as a sub for Clarecastle. And who's going off? He's going into full forward as Georgie Power goes off. Georgie seemed to be playing fairly well up to this, but of course they probably want a bit of power in as Nolly Maher takes the puck out. Comes to this side of the field, Timmy Ryan and Victor O'Loughlin. Ball comes to Noel the Wire. Noel sends it up along the far side of the field. It goes up to where Brian Kenny is, but the ball goes out over the line. It's a line ball to Clarecastle to be taken by Roger McMahon. Score 1-5 to 1-11. 6 points between the teams, and Borris-Ileigh, if they only just cool it down for a minute, could start to get on top again. Roger McMahon, a good cut. Jerry Stapleton has the ball. Jerry sends it out to Bobby Ryan. Bobby lets it go along the ground, the far side of the field. Barney Lynch and John McGrath. But Pat Toohey has it. Timmy Ryan goes out to Francis Collins from Tommy Howard. Ball goes into the Borris-Ileigh goals, into Brian Kenny. Anthony Scanlon is blocked down there by Brian Kenny. The ball comes out to Brendan Kenny. Ball comes out to Pat Toohey. Pat Toohey is fouled there by Philip Kenny. They seem to be going to arrest him. And there's a free out. Free out to Clarecastle. About 12 minutes to go in the first half. 18 minutes or 12 minutes to go in the second half. Tom Howard takes this free. Comes down where Georgie Power goes for it. Jerry Stapleton has it. Jerry sends it down the far side of the field where Pat Toohey goes for it. Pat Toohey gets it over to Johnny Callan. Johnny Callan has it out near the centre of the field. He gets a low one in. It goes to Georgie Power. Georgie sends a high one and sends it over the bar. Victor O'Loughlin. That was Victor O'Loughlin there. A fine shot from Victor. As Philip Kenny has gone out wing forward. Borris-Ileigh now would want to... They want to start hurling, or else this game could be snatched for them. The ball comes out to where Tommy Howard goes for it. Ball goes to Francis Collins. A lot of the Borris lads gone slack as the ball comes to this side of the field. Out comes Timmy Stapleton for it. Georgie O'Loughlin. As the ball comes out to Dermot Fitzgerald. He gets it along the ground. The ball is hit against Michael Ryan. It's a line ball to Clarecastle. A line ball here to be taken by Georgie O'Connor or Johnny Callan. Johnny sends it across the Borris-Ileigh goal. It goes to Dermot Fitzgerald. Dermot sends a high one and sends it over the bar. Yes, a great point there from a pass by Johnny Callan over to Dermot Fitzgerald, coming into his own now at the moment. As there's only 4 points now between them as Nolly Maher takes the puck out, far side of the field. A lot of the Borris-Ileigh stars standing up as Tommy Howard has the ball. Francis Collins goes over along after him, but Richard Stakelum has it. Richard sends it in towards the centre. Conor Stakelum comes out for it. Conor has the ball on the Borris-Ileigh 70-yard line. He goes up along the side, sends a high ball in towards the Clarecastle goal, goes into where Noel Considine goes for it. Noel gets it out towards the centre of the field. Out comes Jerry Stapleton for it. Jerry gets it in his hand, sends a high ball back in towards the Clarecastle goal. Goes in, John McGrath has the ball, 14 yards out. He seemed to be fouled there. Ball goes out over the end line, but it has gone wide. As Borris-Ileigh there, a good chance there for John McGrath. As the score is 14 points to 10, with about 10 minutes to go, or 9 minutes to go in the second half. Conor Stakelum has it. Conor going up, going through, sends a high ball in towards the Clarecastle goal. There seem to be no one playing in full forward. Ball comes out to the centre of the field. Christy Martin goes for it. The ball comes out to Roger McMahon. Sends the ball out. Bobby Ryan goes for it. It goes to Gerard O'Loughlin. He sends it low along the ground. And Pascal Russell has the ball. He's on the 21-yard line. He's going across the goals. Sends the ball over the bar. Yes, a great score there by Pascal Russell. And Borris-Ileigh could do with making a change there in that corner. 3 points between them. Nolly Maher takes the puck out, and this is where we're going to have a grandstand finish here as Noel sends a long one. Comes to where Tom Howard gets it over to this side of the field again. And Francis Milan comes out. Ball comes out to Michael Ryan, out to Jerry Stapleton, out to Bobby Ryan. Bobby gets it to Jerry again. out to Bobby Ryan. Bobby going up along the far side of the field, followed by Christy Martin. He kicks it along the ground. It goes to Brendan Kenny. Brendan going up along the side. He's beaten Tom Howard. Seemed to be fouled there by Tom Howard. Yes, Tom Howard got on top of him, and there's a free in to Borris-Ileigh. And there is another, yes. And there we have a free for Borris-Ileigh to be taken by Noel Dwyer. 30 yards out, and this could be a very welcome insurance score for Borris-Ileigh as Noel Dwyer comes up to take this one. Steadies himself. Noel sends it high and sends it in between the posts, and there could be the insurance score for Borris-Ileigh. And there we have, with great excitement here in the Gaelic Grounds in Limerick. You can't see many magpies around now as Noel Scanlon takes the puck out. Goes to Richard Stapleton. Richard gets along the ground. It goes to Brendan Kenny, who's playing well at the moment at centre forward. Brendan is going through. Brendan leaves it after him as Roger McMahon gets it. Victor O'Loughlin has the ball. He's stopped there by Francis Collins. Great harassing there by Francis. The ball goes to Philip Kenny, to Noel Dwyer. Ball goes out to the far side of the field to Christy Martin. Great shoulder there by Richard Stapleton. Ball comes to this side of the field to Brendan Kenny, and Brendan Kenny fouls Victor O'Loughlin, and there's a free into Clarecastle. Clarecastle free, and the ball goes over the bar. It's a great point there from Tom Howard. 6 minutes left in the game. 5.5 to be exact, as Nolly Maher takes this puck out. Comes out to this side of the field. Conor Stapleton pulls in it first time. The ball goes to Noel Dwyer. Noel Dwyer is fouled. Noel Dwyer is fouled there by Tom Howard. There's a free into Borris-Ileigh. 3 points between the sides as Noel Dwyer bends, he lifts, he strikes, and he sends it high. Yes, and sends it over the bar. Another great point, and that's another nail in the coffin of Clarecastle with Noel Dwyer. Has he missed one today, I wonder? With just 5 minutes left in the game as Noel Considine takes the puck out. Out Timmy Ryan and Victor O'Loughlin. Timmy Ryan gets it. Ball goes along the ground. Philip Kenny pulls in it first time. It goes to Conor Stapleton. Conor breaks away from Roger McMahon, sends it in towards Anthony Scanlon. Ball comes to Brian Kenny there. Borris-Ileigh back's not falling, or forward's not falling up. Victor O'Loughlin has the ball. He pulls in it first time. Tom Howard has it. While pulling here as the ball goes towards Richard Stapleton. A great pull there by Richard, but the ball goes to Pat Toohey. A lot of the Borris-Ileigh lads at sea at the moment. Ball goes in towards Michael Ryan and Dermot Fitzgerald. Ball goes out over the line for a 70. As Dermot Fitzgerald hits the ball out very quick, out towards the centre of the field for Tom Howard to take this 70 for Clarecastle. And I wonder, is he taking in the right place at all? He's going to take it as he gets an extra few inches. 4 points between them as Tom Howard takes this free. It goes in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Timmy Ryan blocks it out. And Timmy Stapleton gets it out. Francis Collins. Ball comes to Victor O'Loughlin. Victor O'Loughlin has the ball. He's going through. He pans it in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. It's blocked out by Nolly Maher. A great save there by Nolly. It comes out to Christy Martin. The ball comes to Richard Stapleton. He sends a long ball up to where John McGrath and Barney Lynch go for it. Anthony Scanlon has the ball. He's harassed by Brendan Kenny. Ball comes out to Barney Lynch again, but it's a free to Clarecastle. Free to Clarecastle for a foul there on Barney Lynch. Great save there in the Borris-Ileigh goals by Nolly Maher. 27.5 minutes gone in the second half. 4 points between the teams as Tom Howard takes this free. I must say again, there's tremendous excitement here. He sends a high ball in where Francis Collins and Christy Martin goes for it. Jerry O'Loughlin as Timmy Ryan pulls it out towards this side of the field. Number 10, 9, Christy Martin sends a high ball in towards the Borris-Ileigh goals. Nolly Maher blocked it out to Pascal Russell. Francis Villan gets the ball. Has it on the far side of the field. He sends the ball out to where Tom Howard goes for it. Tommy is chased by Francis Collins. The ball comes to Richard Stapleton. Kenny Morrissey has the ball, but the ball comes back to Bobby Ryan. Bobby sends it first time. It comes to Richard Stapleton. Richard on the far side of the field sends a long ball up to where John McGrath and Timmy Ryan goes for it. Or Brendan Kenny goes for it. Barney Lynch has the ball. He's being harassed over there, but he gets his puck in. Barney playing very well. It comes to Christy Martin. Christy on the centre of the field. He's fouled there by Francis Collins, and there's a free into Clarecastle. With time running out now. With just about a minute and a few seconds to go as Tommy Howard takes this ball. Will he lob it in? He sends a low one. Comes into Victor O'Loughlin. He palms it in. Goes to Timmy Stapleton. Timmy sends it over to the far side of the field. A low ball in. It hit the side netting, but the ball has gone wide. Kenny Morrissey there. Here's a low ball across. Aimed to go across the Borris-Ileigh goals, but the ball went to Nolly Maher. With time running out. Nolly Maher with the puck out, the far side of the field. Goes out towards Philip Kenny. Philip catches it in his hand. Ball goes into John McGrath. John McGrath 40 yards out. John McGrath with Barney Lynch after him. Barney Lynch fouls John McGrath illegally, and there is a free into Borris-Ileigh. This one to be taken again by Noel the Wire. And Borris-Ileigh have rallied from their shaky start in the middle of the second half to go 4 points ahead now with Noel the Wire to take this free as the crowd leave Gaelic Grounds in Limerick. Noel the Wire places the ball 30 yards out from the Clarecastle goal. Sends it over to where Philip Kenny goes for it. Out to John McGrath. John McGrath evades Pat Power but sends the ball high and wide, and that shouldn't have happened. Noel, probably his only mistake today, should have sent the ball over the bar. As the referee looks at his watch and blows the whistle, and the game is over. Borris-Ileigh are the Munster Club champions for 1986 with a score 1 goal and 13 points to 1 goal and 9 points. In the first half, they seemed to be going to run away with the game, but a great-hearted fight there in the second half by Clarecastle. They brought the scores down to 4 points. Borris-Ileigh, to their own credit, kept plugging away, and some great clearances in the second half there, and one great save from Nolly Maher. Few great clearances by Jerry Stapleton. Timmy Ryan playing tremendous at centre field, and Noel the Wire capped it all off with some fantastic scores. And there you have, out in the centre of the field, Borris-Ileigh mentors and team men have there Noel the Wire, or Richard Stapleton, Mick Cohen, the man that didn't play today. And there you have John McGrath going over, patting Philip Kenny on the back. And there you have Donald Devitt, Seamus Devaney. You have a lot of delighted Borris-Ileigh spectators. And there we have some happy people down, some Borris-Ileigh people down. You have Tony Rabbit, and you have his wife and Don Ryan and a few more of them there. They're all delighted as Borris-Ileigh, the champions for 1986.
Enjoyable and entertaining game. So all I say to Clarecastle is, well done, hard luck, August Big Law, Ella Agree. And to the tip champions, Borris-Ileigh, I have seen you play in the past, I have seen you today, and I have no doubt that we'll be seeing you again, and you'll be bringing back the All-Ireland Club Championship to the Clare. And I suppose it wouldn't be remiss of me if I said that it might be the first championship and it might be followed by even bigger things to come for the county. With that, it gives me a great pleasure on behalf of Corn and the Moon to present the trophy to the winning captain, Mick Ryan, on behalf of Borris-Ileigh. So we're going to meet him all, give a comment here.
Hey, come on, Michael.
Mike, sorry, boss. Hold it now.
Thank you. Our son, Quinn Cheetah, Borris-Ileigh. I'd like to thank everybody that had anything to do with us bringing this trophy here. That includes trainers, selectors, and especially our supporters. I'd like in particular to pay a special word of thanks to Paddy Doyle, who's made such a difference to us this year. I'd also like to sincerely compliment Clarecastle for the fine game they gave us, and in particular the great fight back which they provided us with in the second half. And I wish them luck in the future. I would like to have 3 cheers for Clarecastle. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Great inter-county hurlers in their day, Johnny Callan from Clare and Noel Dwyer from Borris-Ileigh. Johnny, things didn't go as well as they should have gone for you today.
No, I suppose they didn't. We didn't seem to play at all in the first half. I don't know really. Know. Maybe it's because it's a month since we had a match, but it's hard to explain. Like we seem to be leaden-footed and second to the ball. And I mean, credit to Borris-Ileigh. They were obviously, if we were second, they had to be first to it. But once we seemed to get warmed up, we think we showed a good bit of spirit, and at least we gave them a match of it. I don't think we gave them much more than that. I'd expect any team that'd be 8, 9 or 10 points down in the Munster final to make some shape. I don't really think we deserve great credit for a comeback. We have a certain amount of pride in ourselves, and I think we showed that. That's what, Borris-Ileigh may have sat in it a bit as well, but it's disappointing. It's disappointing that we only played for about a quarter of an hour and we were within 4 points of a good Borris-Ileigh team at the finish.
They played very well in the second half, Noel, didn't they? But overall, Borris-Ileigh's performance was fairly good, wasn't it?
I thought early on, in about the first 15 minutes, I thought some of the Clarecastle fellas may have been a bit overawed. Particularly in defence, they seemed to be fouling ridiculously, and that's what put Borris-Ileigh so far in front. It wasn't our overall play in the first half hour that put us in front. It was some stupid freeze, I thought, by the Clarecastle defence, and I thought the referee was very, very strict. I mean, people would say some of the decisions were dubious, but be that as it may, he penalised some of the Borris-Ileigh fellas equally for what appeared maybe soft freeze. But fair play to Clarecastle, and I said it at half time and said just before we came out that these fellas were not going to die, that we could expect a major battle, and fair play to them. Like, I mean, they put us at the pin of our collar. Probably, as Johnny said, the thing that stood was that we had a match a fortnight ago, and whereas Clarecastle had only a match a month ago, and that was against the Kerry champions, which you wouldn't expect to have given them a good game. So I think it stood to us to have played Claghon a fortnight ago.
You'll be delighted now. You'll have lots of chicken or lots of turkey for the Christmas.
I don't know about that. We can rest and relax now. I mean, we've had a long, strenuous campaign ever since that bad defeat by Kilruane in June. We really got into it, and I think all the credit must go to Paddy Doyle.
Thanks very much, Noel Dwyer. Johnny, this could this be an omen for the Munster Championship next year?
Well, Kilruane won it last year.
Well, I have my answer there, haven't I? Thanks very much, Johnny Callan.
All right, that's
3 people here. Michael Ryan, captain of Borris-Ileigh, Michael Lowry, chairman of the Tipperary County Board, and I have Paddy Kenny, the legendary Borris-Ileigh hurler. Paddy, did you enjoy the game?
And I thought it was great, John, to tell you the truth. And it was the first time a Borris-Ileigh team did what they're after doing today. And I'd safely say, without any fear of contradiction, that it's the best team to ever come out of Borris-Ileigh, and I'm going back to 1949 when Borris-Ileigh started first. It's by far and away the best team ever come out of Borris-Ileigh, and that's high praise because they're after good teams coming over it. And that to me was tremendous exhibition of hurling today. They're great hurlers, and they'll go the whole way this year, I haven't any doubt about it.
An awful lot of credit must go to Paddy Doyle, as you said in your speech after the match, Michael.
Yes, indeed, John. I think we were never as down as we were before Paddy came. That was when Kilruane beat us in the North semi-final, and he has turned the team inside out. Absolutely, it's incredible what he has done for the team, really.
Michael, the day we played Gibeont in Templemore, did you think that the Spurs team could get to a Munster or win a Munster club final?
Well, I think the first thing I want to do is congratulate Borris-Ileigh. I think it was a tremendous victory, and coming into this match today,
we weren't just talking about parochial pride and honour. The pride and honour of Tipperary Hurling was at stake, and I'd like to compliment Borris-Ileigh on the tremendous performance that they gave, not on behalf of their own parish but on behalf of the county in general, and it's a tremendous boost for us facing into the Munster Championship next year. What about the Holy Cross match and Tipperary? Certainly I think that everyone in Tipperary realised for the last number of years that Borris-Ileigh have the talent and the ability, but you simply weren't getting it out of them. And this year I think that you've been far better when you got organised and when you got them going and got them training and dedicated and committed to the job at hand. It was inevitable that you would get performances like we've got there today. And in fact I was glad in the second half there today that Clarecastle did come back, because I think it made the victory all the sweeter, and it showed that Borris-Ileigh were able to answer the questions when the questions were put to them. Even after the goal, Clarecastle got that goal, Borris showed tremendous character in coming back and getting the few points to keep them ahead.
Thank you very much, Michael Lowry. Paddy, Brendan got a tremendous goal. Brendan, of course, came in as a replacement before the match for Mick Cohen. He got a great goal, didn't he?
He did, John. It was wanted at the time too, but he took it well. He took his chance well, and you'll only get one chance like that during the game. Like, and if you get a second one, you have to be ready to take him. Fair joke to him, he took it well. And that's what it's all about. I'd like to pay a special credit actually to Paddy Doyle. I think he did a marvellous job on him, because looking at Borris-Ileigh playing Killarwan in the county semi-final, it was in Nina, wasn't it, early in the year? Not semi-final, rather, sorry. And he actually made a new team out of him from that to the county final. So there has to be something in his training. Let them all say what they like, there must be something, and I admire him and congratulate him. He brought that team to the top level, and as I said before, they're the best team ever left Borris-Ileigh, and I haven't any doubt about that.
Things are very shaky, Michael, for a period in the second half down there around the Borris-Ileigh goals. Were you worried for a while?
Yes, indeed. We got a bit of a fright there, and for about 5-10 minutes we were rattled by especially that fellow I was marking. He really knows how to put them away. That's right, yes. Yeah. But we weathered the storm, and I think it proved that we can weather a storm. People have said that we can't down the years, but I was very happy that we did weather that storm and proved that we are worthy champions.
Grand. There you have Michael Lowry, Michael Ryan and Paddy Kenny. We'll be back with someone else in a few moments. Lee supporters, what's your name?
Francis O'Dwyer.
Well, how did you enjoy the game, Francis?
It was a great display of hurling from Borris-Ileigh. There was hundreds of us fans up there. We never let them down, they never let us down. I think that the style and determination that Borris-Ileigh showed there today, it had to produce productive hurling, and we did win in the end.
Fine. I have here Eamon Kenny. Eamon, you enjoyed yourself?
I did. It was great. Nearly had a heart attack there in the second half at one stage. It was brilliant.
And we have Paul Byle here. Paul?
I really enjoyed the game. It was as good as the Borris and Middleton Munster final in '83. That's my summing up of the whole day.
We have one of the Ryans here. I don't know your first name. Paddy, is it? Paddy.
We're all proud to be Borris-Ileigh this evening, and we will hit Chaddix in style.
There you are, a lot of people to hit Chaddix. I have John McGrath over here, Ryan, Billy Murray as we call him in Borris-Ileigh. John, you must be delighted after your victory.
Thrilled. It was a great victory. We had to work hard in the last quarter. It was fairly tough. And thanks be to God we came through again.
They made it an exciting second half, Clarecastle, didn't they?
I was thinking at half time, some of them were saying we were through, like, you know, we're going to get... But I didn't think that at half time. They were a big, strong, physical team, and they were bound to wear our fellas down eventually, like, you know. And they put the run in them there for a while, and good Noel Dwyer came trumps again today and got the vital scores and didn't miss anything. And Noel Mayer handled things very well in the goal. Brendan, thanks for his goal. It was tonic. Very sorry the poor old Cohen wasn't there, but please God, he'll be there for the next day.
Yeah. Billy, Noel Dwyer got some great points, didn't he, from frees?
Noel Dwyer was really on his game today. Like, you know, he was the difference there around the field. He really broke the heart in the Clarecastle team, and they were their own worst enemies, really. You know, all the frees they gave away. But Borris-Ileigh played very well. Their finish was great. John said there about Mick Cohen. It's a pity Mick Cohen couldn't play in the Munster final, but the man that replaced him, Brendan Kenny, played a great game. Overall, it was a team performance, and I think that to be congratulated what they have done for the club, and I hope that we'll go on and win in All-Ireland, and the tip will bring back the McCarthy Cup next year with the Borris-Ileigh captain.
Lovely, lads. Thanks very much. Girls.
Olive Pryor.
Olive Pryor.
Breed McGrath.
Breed McGrath. Are you a brother or sister of John McGrath? Hiya. There you are now. There's two nice girls from Borris-Ileigh, and Liz Howard. Liz is PRO for Tipperary team. Stephen, did you enjoy the game?
I enjoyed the game, but sometimes watching Boris, they make my nerves so bad that I swear I'll never come to another match again. But it was great to see him hurl as they did, and it's a good omen for tip hurling. I think that pure hurling won in the day.
You told me before you came to the match that if they won, you'd hardly go back tonight. Is that it?
Won't be going back tonight. No doubt about it.
Liz Howard, Liz, will this have done good for for Tipperary hurling for next year's Munster semi-final?
Well, the other day I was talking to Richard Stapleton, and he said his uncle Pat Stapleton was 23 when he brought the McCarthy Cup back to Tipperary. So I'm hoping that Richard will have the same honour come September. I think today's display augurs very well for tip hurling. But then I've always been a great fan of Borris-Ileigh hurling. I think they hurl extremely well. They have all the skills of the game, and today they proved that they have all the skills and all the heart. And it's great to see the support they got here, not just from Borris-Ileigh people, but from Tipperary people all over the county. And that's a very good sign.
The two elderly men out, we'll say, in the centre of the field, Timmy Ryan and Noel Dwyer, played their heart out today, didn't they?
Well, I think everybody played their heart out, but I think the centre field played extremely well in the first half. Timmy hit some great balls overhead on the ground, but Noel O'Dwyer, I have to take my hat off to him. His free taking was impeccable, but his overall contribution, I mean, he's a fine, big, strong man who can give a tackle, who can take a tackle, and I think all his experience bore fruit there today.
Thanks very much.
I'm delighted for all Borris-Ileigh. Congratulations to Vic and his men.
And you'll be in Borris next Saturday night for the launching of the book, will you?
I will indeed. I'm looking forward to that, and I think it's a great thing that the history is being launched this year's centenary year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Grand. And of course we have our centenary year tie, just to get a plug in for it. Pat Stapleton is selling them in Borris-Ileigh for £5 each. So tomorrow you can get into Pat Stapleton and get your Borris-Ileigh supporters tie. Okay, thanks very much. Liam Devaney, and I have Paddy Dial, Paddy, trainer and coach of the Borris-Ileigh team. Liam, did you enjoy the match?
Yeah.
And the way they played?
Yeah, great match. Great match. They hurled well. They went over with a bit in the first 20 minutes like that, but they hurled terribly well.
No, the Wire put in a great contribution all through the hour, didn't he?
Well, the Wire has done that all along, yeah, he has, yeah.
What did you think of the half-back line? Probably the best strength of all.
Yeah, they hurled well. They hurled well. They hurled terribly well. Richie Stapleton had a stormer. Jerry had a stormer the last day. Bobby hurled terribly well. They all hurled well. They all, as a team, they are. It's very hard to pick. On the day you win, you know, it's very hard to pick anyone out.
Paddy Dial, trainer coach of Borris-Ileigh, you must be a proud man today to have won your first Munster Club final.
Yes, I'm very, very pleased, yeah, very pleased to have won. It was the first Munster Club team that I was ever involved with, but I was very pleased that Borris-Ileigh won it on the centenary year of the club, you know. And the pressure began to tell in the last couple of weeks, and I could feel the pressure that the Borris-Ileigh club were very anxious to win it this year. And all these things, I suppose, put extra pressure on you, you know.
There was some great pressure in the last 10 minutes on the Borris-Ileigh goal. Nolly Maher and Jerry Stapleton in particular bringing off some tremendous saves.
Yeah, well, it's the same old story. Like it's the same story. We seem to be repeating ourselves every time we speak into this camera. You know, they stand up to that pressure. I thought actually the changing of the game was when Howard went centre back. He had an outstanding game, and we knew that, and we said that even in our chat on Friday night prior to the game, that we were actually hoping that Quinn would stay there because we knew he'd suit Noel more. And as it turned out, while he was there, Noel destroyed him. And Noel continued to play well and got all the vital frees and that in the last 10 minutes. But Howard did make a difference when he went back onto their half-back line. You know.
Brendan Kenny, who came in as a sub before the match for Mick Cohen. Mick, of course, was badly injured from the last game. Brendan played very well when he came in, didn't he?
Played very well, yeah. And I'd be sorry for Cohen because Cohen is a hard old warrior and always was, and gave great service to the old club. And it was a hard old decision to make on the day, but he now he's happy and he'll be there the next day.
They done an awful lot of fouling in the first half, probably to their detriment, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, Paddy told the lads going out that this lad, you know, that he'll pull for any, very strict, and anything that comes from behind or pull from behind that he's going to pull. And that's what happened to him in the first half, that we got so many scores off a freeze.
Yeah. Paddy, I suppose, will be going back and the lorry nearly to Borris-Ileigh tonight. You'll be there in full vice.
Well, I don't know. I hope so anyway. Well, you know, the important thing is the match is won now, and we have a long wait now for the semi-final. My worry at the moment is what the hell we're going to do between now and Christmas and keep these fellas right. You know, I know.
A few pints as well.
You know, well, we let them go wild for a day or two, but the point is they'll have to keep on their toes and be doing a bit all the time, because if they cut off completely now, they'll have to do it all over again after Christmas. So we'll have to be training the odd night between now and Christmas, you know.
Could this be a great omen for Tip next year against Clare in the Munster first round of the Munster Championship?
I think you put out that Borris team today against Dublin next Sunday, they should have a great chance of going. But that's not answering the question you asked me. But like Paddy, there was an awful lot of work done. Paddy done it. We had a meeting last Friday night, and there was an awful lot of work done. And between opening up the field and ground hurling and all this thing, and Borris hasn't done that for years. Like, and they haven't played. In the last two matches now, they played great.
Would you think would Tipperary would they win a Munster final if they did play ground hurling, the old style Tipperary hurling? You probably remember it there.
Well, you see, it's well, you know, ground hurling. To be nice to say to go out and play ground hurling, but to me, it's sort of horses for courses now. Today, you were playing Clarecastle, and I saw Clarecastle against Mount Sion, and without a doubt, the game to play with Clarecastle is ground hurling. It's, I suppose 90% of the time it'll have to pay off. You make room for yourself by pulling first time and keeping the ball moving. But then, having said that, you have to have the team fit enough to stay going, because there's a very strenuous way of playing a game by using ground hurling. And Borris were ready. We knew they were ready to last today, you know, and even when they came at us in the last 10 minutes now, it might have looked frightening from the terraces and from the stand, but we knew that Borris would stay with them, you know, and they were ready for it, even though they had put in a very strenuous first 45 minutes of ground hurling, which is very, very hard on a team.
And thank you very much, Paddy Dial and Liam Devaney. We'll be back in just a second. Refresh your memory about something that's coming up on next Saturday night in the Marion Hall, Borris-Ileigh. It's the launching of 100 years of Borris-Ileigh sport in GAA. First of all, I'll ask Timmy Delaney. Timmy, your words, the words that you said on Friday night at the meeting, well, now you can write them.
Yes, at Friday night's meeting, a lot of ground was covered, but when the tactical talk was over, somebody mentioned that it was very important that the final chapter in Borris-Ileigh's history be written. And the final chapter was well and truly written today. I think that for the first time in the 100 years of history in Borris-Ileigh hurling, we achieved something today. And I said to the boys there on Friday night that there was a blank page on the end of the history book, and to make sure and inscribe their names onto it. And I'm delighted for the club and for the players involved that they certainly did, on the centenary year of our club, write an indelible page into that history book.
Tom Tierney here. Tom, you were probably one of the men to start this book running there early in the year. Tom, is it a hard job to get a book like this moving?
Well, to start with, this book has been dreamt of over the last, I would say it's going back to 1970 or so, when this book was first mentioned. It was mentioned by Paul Kennedy, who was teaching down in somewhere down in Limerick, in Castleconnell. And Paul, through his efforts, and he didn't get enough of the committee behind him at the time, and so the book was put in abeyance. So now we have the centenary year, and a couple of years ago we were thinking of what we would do for centenary year. So this book we felt had to be published because 100 years of history in hurling, in Borris-Ileigh especially, where we have tradition, where we're very proud of our native game, and it had to be put into print. So we're glad to have this opportunity next Saturday night at 8 o'clock in the Marion Hall to be able to launch this book, with the help, of course, with number one, thanks I think has to go to Lar here, who has been finalising this book over the last 6 months or so, and of course with the help of Timmy Delaney and other people that have helped along, given photographs, whatever. But it's going to be a momentous occasion next Saturday night, a big night for all from Borris-Ileigh, all the people of Borris-Ileigh. That's all, John.
Lar Long here. Lar, what's the itinerary for next Saturday night, as you are as we say, the complete boss?
I wouldn't say the complete boss, John, but just on the point that Tom is making, I would like to take this opportunity of taking everybody like to give me photographs, information, details in relation to the book. And there are too numerous and too many to mention. And I think it's fitting in this year, the centenary year, as Timmy said, like that the book is being published. And I think the icing was put on the cake today when winning the club championship, Munster Club Championship. It's a great thing for a club to win in the centenary year, and I'm sure, and I know in my heart and soul that this is not the end, that the All-Ireland is still to come. And I'm looking forward to the All-Ireland final.
Who do you expect to launch the book?
Well, Tom has made arrangements, I understand, like, and he's the subcommittee here, Pat Stakenham and Timmy and a few of the lads. So I'm thankful to them, like, for looking after that end of it. I have my hands full at the moment, looking for after the information I further booked it.
Mary Kenny is supposed to be arranging some sort of a pageantry, isn't she?
I would like to take Mary the opportunity of, as you mentioned, Mary, like, of thanking her, like, for all the assistance that she has given me in the book, and the photographs that she's produced and all the work she's done behind the scene. And I know the pageantry that she's going to put on will be well received, and I think it's fitting that Mary is looking after it, because I don't think there's any other better organiser than Mary to do it.
And after getting another hint from here behind that I have to show the tie again for the second time. We'll show it here on Lar Long this time. Beautiful tie. He says he's proud of it and proud to wear it.
I would like to take this opportunity, John, of saying one thing in relation to the book. We hear an awful lot, like, about this, the golden era of the Borris-Ileigh Hurling Club, which is in 49 to 55 period. And nobody doubts, but those were great men, and great men came from that period. But I think we're in the middle of the second golden era for Borris-Ileigh at this particular point. I think that the highlight of it will be the winning of the All-Ireland Club Championship for 1986 in Borris-Ileigh Club. And that's the day I look forward to.
Thanks very much, Lar Long. We'll be back in just a second with someone else. Mick, who was in hard luck with his knee against Clahan. He got an injury on the knee. He also got an injury on the back, I think, as well, and that kept him out of today's match. Mick, you must have been very disappointed to miss today's Munster final.
Very disappointed, John. I didn't decide until we were in the hotel down there, and actually the decision wasn't up to me. I said I was good enough to play, whether I was or not, but I was anxious to play, you know. And the selectors had a meeting then, and Paddy Dyle and Liam Devaney, and they came back and they said decided not to, you know, to be better for my own sake, that do a bit of damage, more damage to the knee, and all right, to prove it right anyway.
Yeah, and the great-hearted hurler that you are, you'd fight to the bitter end anyway, and try and stand up.
Probably Paddy Dyle said that to me, you know, I'd be trying anyway, and damage I'd be doing, you know, so I was glad in the finish, like, you know, this has worked out, and we won. And
it was a great overall performance by the team, wasn't it?
Great, John, that was fantastic. Richard Stapleton in particular, and Jerry and Bobby, our half-back line came under real pressure, and they came up trumps, you know, because all the play was down on top of them, and particularly in 15-20 minutes gone in the second half. The Clarecastle half-back line came in, they shifted the centre forward, centre back, and they seemed to move the Howard, and they moved that bit better. And Borris were 4 points up, and you know they held it. The boys kept it out and hammered away, and they kept their scores.
Only Mahawan made one tremendous save, didn't he, in the last?
Nolly's been Trojan throat, you know, he's something else, like, you know. Nolly's a great goalie, great keeper. He's steady and cool, you know.
And of course the wire.
Noel had a great game today. His marksmanship from frees are something superb.
As I said before, that was to their detriment, all the frees they gave away in the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, Clarecastle were inclined to be that little bit tougher or dirty, or whatever you like to call it, and Borris didn't retaliate, and we benefit by that. We reaped our rewards by the frees, you know. We really, Noel was unsung with them, and they paid the price for their fouling.
You'll be fit, I suppose, for the All-Ireland semi-final.
That will be played in about January, February sometime, I suppose, so I have 3 months now, John, so...
Well, lots of time.
Christmas is over, isn't it?
Paddy Dyle says you can have a few tonight, but that's it after that.
He said about 2 weeks' time, back 1 week, 1 day, 1 night a week, yeah.
Oh, well, you can't beat keeping up the pressure anyway. It shows a good sign of a coach, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I suppose from Paddy's point of view, it would be very hard for him to come back in January after the Christmas and without keeping in touch. So his idea, I think, is correct. You know, that not to do too much, but just keep the boys to have their few pints, and still they'll train, they'll knock it out of him again. You know, they'll keep him there. You know, just hold him. That's all he wants to do. You know.
Lovely. Thanks very much. From an empty Gaelic Grounds in Limerick, we'll sign off, and with Borris-Ileigh winners. They showed great character in the second half, especially Nolly Maher, the full back or the half back line, centre field. They played very well, and some great scores there from Noel the Wire as well. We'll see probably in a couple of months' time. I think the venue will be probably Thurles, but tonight or tomorrow we will see you in Joe's or somewhere around Borris-Ileigh. Thanks very much. Borris-Ileigh, Munster Club champions 1986.